Good evening from Mission Control Houston for our third and final broadcast of the day as we get ready for the hatch opening of the Soyuz MS-06 vehicle currently docked to the International Space Station with the three newest crew members of Expedition 53 on board. I'm Dan Hewitt joining you from Mission Control Houston here at the Johnson Space Center, where the team's been overseeing all of the activities that have unfolded today, starting with the launch from Baikonur, Kazakhstan, through a docking that occurred very shortly ago. Now the crew undergoing a series of leak checks and marching forward towards the eventual hatch opening, which is scheduled to happen in just about 40 minutes from now. Meanwhile, on board the station, one of the current crew members, Sergei Rosansky, there already setting up to welcome the three newest crew members of Expedition 53, who, as mentioned, are still inside that Soyuz MS-06 vehicle. The three crew members who just launched a little bit earlier today, Russian cosmonaut Alexander Mazurkin and two NASA astronauts, Joe Acaba and Mark Vande Hei. Vande Hei, the rookie in the group, making his first flight into space, Mazurkin his second, and for Acaba his third. Pretty soon we should be seeing them opening the hatch. Again, they're going through a series of leak checks right now just to ensure that they have a tight seal between the Soyuz spacecraft and the station itself. And then once all of that's completed, they'll be able to open the hatch on the Soyuz and on the station side and welcome these three new crew members on board. As mentioned, everything has gone very smoothly so far today.
Минута. Минута, контролирую. 732 без изменений. 732. Первая проверка успешна.
Приняли замер 732.
And again, the crew right now on board that Soyuz MS-06 vehicle, they're going through all the final leak checks, all those final steps that they need to do before they can open up the hatches. It's been a very long day for these crew members who launched at about 4:17 p.m. Central Time, 3:17 in the morning over on Baikonur. And all three crew members were woken up about 9 hours prior to that launch, where they went through all of the traditional activities pre-launch, signing the doors in the Cosmonaut Hotel and heading over to the suit-up facility to get into their SOCO launch and entry suits and getting a chance to talk one more time to friends and family and some of the program guests out there at the Baikonur Cosmodrome before they lifted off from launch pad number 1, the same one that launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite put into space by mankind, which coincidentally was their zero-G indicator on the ride up. But it was a flawless launch, rocketing across the night sky there in Kazakhstan, steering a line for all of the viewers there across, again, the night sky. And then they made that flight into orbit. It lasted the 8 minutes and 45 seconds, all three stages of the Soyuz rocket performing as expected. And the Soyuz was able to get into its preliminary orbit. Then executed its chase down of the International Space Station, and all of that culminated in a docking at 9:55 p.m. Central Time, 10:55 p.m. Eastern. This is a short clip as it was in kind of that final approach. The Soyuz spacecraft is docked to the Poisk module. That's over on the space-facing side of the International Space Station, or kind of the top, if you will. And again, that docked successfully at 9:55 p.m. Central, 10:55 p.m. Eastern, while the station and the Soyuz were flying just over the southern Pacific off to the west of Chile. It was a successful docking, that contact and capture coming. You'll see the little bump here in the video as that occurred, and then the docking probe on the Soyuz retracted, and a series of hooks on both the Soyuz and the vehicle were able to lock it in place.
Five minutes. Copy.
So right here is a view you just saw Sergei Rosansky. This is where all 6 crew members will gather once those hatches are opened, and then the 3 new arrivals, Mazurkin, Akaba, and Vandahai, will get a chance to speak to folks back down in Baikonur, friends, family, and program guests from both NASA and Roscosmos that have been watching all of the events from the launch through the docking and now onto the hatch opening. And they'll get a chance to speak to them over the space to grounds just to say hello from a drastically different place than where they were just a couple of hours ago, as they were talking to them through a pane of glass. Now going to be talking to them from an orbiting laboratory about 250 statute miles over the Earth's surface. So a bit of a change of scenery, but it'll definitely be a welcome addition to see these 3 new crew members make their way on board the International Space Station, bring Expedition 53 back up to its full 6 crew members. They'll be ready to get underway with all of the various science and the research experiments that are really the backbone of why we have this orbiting laboratory. And this a view down the Poisk module. Rosansky once again doing all these checkouts, getting everything ready. And you can see the hatchway behind him. That's the hatch on the station side. One of 2 hatches that'll be opened up to welcome these crew members inside. The hatch in the Soyuz obviously also needs to be opened. And then once they're on board, we'll be back at a full crew of 6, the normal full-size population of the International Space Station. This, however, will be a first. This will be the first long-term increase in crew size over on what's known as the USOS segment, increasing from 3 to 4 with the addition of the 2 NASA astronauts. All of that going to allow NASA to maximize the amount of time dedicated to research. Actually, adding 1 extra crew member can dedicate the vast majority of their time to that research when you go from 3 to 4 over on that segment. Some of the investigations we're looking forward to doing in the next couple of months include things like demonstrating the benefits of actually manufacturing fiber optics in microgravity, hopefully getting a much higher quality fiber optic, which could have direct impacts in communications technologies right back down here on Earth. They're also going to be looking at new studies to help slow or possibly reverse muscle atrophy that astronauts can be exposed to while in that microgravity environment for very long duration periods of time. Also looking at a potential synthetic bone material that will actually adhere bone to metal to hopefully accelerate bone repair. So a lot of the research being done on board the International Space Station into human health. A lot of the astronauts, or all of the astronauts, acting almost as guinea pigs for a lot of these experiments where they are the experiment, and researchers learning a lot about what happens to the human body when it's in this environment. Microgravity, obviously a very different environment than we are used to here on Earth. So when the body goes into that new environment, it has to adapt and change. A lot of the features, or actually the changes that the human body goes through while in microgravity, can mimic a lot of various diseases or debilitating diseases here back down on planet Earth. So a lot of what we learn about keeping crew members safe and healthy and productive in space has some direct impacts for helping get people healthy back down here on Earth. So right now we're a little over 30 minutes away from the planned hatch opening. Again, the crew right now still doing some final leak checks, just ensuring they have a tight seal between the Soyuz craft and the space station itself.
Is 732 millimeters, 732.
Минута, я
Copy.
и на связь, чтобы переносить.
Inaudible.
Я переношу на
Саш, подтверди,
связь
подтверди,
Артема.
пожалуйста, что ККТ открыт.
Alexander, can you please confirm that KKT is open?
Гош, повтори, пожалуйста, еще раз.
Moscow, can you repeat your last?
Подтверди, что ККТ открыт.
Can you confirm that KKT is open?
ККТ.
KKT?
Гоша, спасибо. ККТ.
Thank you, Moscow. It is open.
И поправка давления
And the correction here, the pressure is 734
4 миллиметра.
millimeters.
Тогда начало замера считаем 07:11:00.
Inaudible at 1100.
07:11:00.
07:11:00.
734.
Okay, the pressure is 734.
3,5.
Correction,
700.
33.5 millimeters at 07:11:00.
Не буду на связь, только несколько секунд. Хорошо.
All right, I'm watching the timer. Copy, Mark. Thank you.
И на связь.
And the com.
And right now you're continuing to just get a look inside of the Russian Mission Control Center, which is located in Koryov, just outside of Moscow. They've been working in tandem with the folks here in Houston throughout all of the day's events, as they do every day. Flying the International Space Station is an international effort for all of these different teams. The folks over in Koryov have been responsible for overseeing the flight of the Soyuz spacecraft ever since it detached from the third stage of the Soyuz rocket. The flight uphill for the Soyuz rocket, again, no issues were tracked throughout. It was an early morning launch over there in Baikonur, about 3:17 in the morning. And so not only a long day for the crew, but a fairly long day for the friends, family, and program officials over there supporting all of the activities and getting ready to see the hatches open and the crew make their way inside. They were treated to quite a spectacular launch, though, as it rocketed across the night sky, potentially startling a few camels or some of the local wildlife as it was in the deep part of the night. But definitely a welcome view to see that rocket lift off the pad and soar through the night and flawless ascent into orbit, delivering the Soyuz spacecraft on its way towards the station. And all of that, again, just set up for the on-time docking, actually getting there about 2 minutes ahead of schedule, docking to the Poisk module at 9:55 p.m. Central Time, 10:55 p.m. Eastern. Everything going well so far with the leak checks. We're just continuing to stand by. Should hopefully have those done shortly.
I got your comm thing here, sorry. Here, I'll just take it off if you want. That's your comm, but I connected to it because I was moving over that way. Here.
But again, a contingent of friends and family of the crew, as well as officials from both NASA and Roscosmos, have been watching all of the events unfold from over in Baikonur. And right now, over in the Agat Hall, as they get ready to watch these hatches open, my colleague Rob Navius from NASA Public Affairs is standing by with one such NASA official. So why don't we toss it over to him to get a few words on today's launch.
Let's go. Tuning power. Here we go. Dan, it's good to talk to you in what has become customary here in a post-launch scenario. We're at the Agat Hall in the town of Baikonur. Just a few hours ago, of course, we witnessed the spectacular launch of the crew to the International Space Station, and friends and family and colleagues of the crew members have gathered here in the Agat Hall to watch the hatch opening and to have an opportunity to greet their loved ones and their friends in just a few minutes once the hatches are open. With me this morning, Bill Gerstenmaier, NASA's Associate Administrator for Exploration. Bill, spectacular launch as always. We were talking earlier out at the launch site, and once again you were struck by the majesty of it all.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing to see the launches, and as I described right after the launch, you know, what's important to me is I see all the work that's gone into this activity. I see the vehicle being built along the way. I know the technicians that are putting the pieces together. I see the work that the Houston teams are doing to prepare for this activity. And then you see it all come together in the launch. And it's just an amazing thing to see that launch occur, and to see that crew safely get on board station is really something special.
We're a few minutes away from a third NASA crew member joining the crew and a fourth U.S. orbital segment crew member, which you and the station program believe is essential to the bumping up of research on board.
Yeah, it's really exciting to get the fourth U.S. crew member on board station and be able to really ramp up the research. As you know, the limiting resource has been crew time, and now we have a chance to really exploit that with the additional crew time. So it's exciting to see that. It's also neat that we're doing this a little bit earlier than we had thought. We thought we'd do it when we got U.S. crew transportation available, but we're able to take advantage of this and have 4 crew on orbit now, which is really great. And that allows us to get prepared when the U.S. crew launch from U.S. soil and come to the space station, and then we'll be at 4 crew from now on. So these next 2 expeditions allow us a unique chance to participate or see how we can actually use some additional crew time and take really advantage of those crew members being on orbit to do the research that's needed.
3 weeks from today, a significant anniversary, the 60th anniversary of the launching of Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite from the very same launch pad that the crew took off from just a few hours ago. 6 decades have passed since the door was opened to spaceflight for not only robotics but humans. Your thoughts on how far we've come?
Yeah, it's really amazing when you see the launch pad and one of the arms that go out and cradle the vehicle on the launch pad prior to liftoff. There's a series of stars on that arm, and they commemorate all the different launches that have occurred from that launch pad. And one of those first stars is the Sputnik, which occurred, as you said, 60 years ago. And it's pretty an amazing thing and an amazing event. You know, I told you earlier that, you know, my first encounter with Sputnik was I was 3 years old, and I wasn't sure exactly why I was being drug outside. And I don't really remember much, except all of a sudden, as a very small child, I'm taken outside in the cool of October in Ohio to watch this little white dot fly across the sky. And I wasn't so impressed by the white dot, but as all the neighbors and family and friends that came out to watch that I realized that there was something special about space. And little did I know that someday I would be here in Baikonur to actually see the launch pad where that thing launched that I got to see in Ohio 60 years ago when I was 3 years old. So pretty amazing transition. And what that has really done is it really shows where we've come in spaceflight. The fact that we're doing all this international operations today on board the space station, we're working with our partners on board space station. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm sure those first Russians that launched from Pad 1 and they launched Sputnik, they had no idea that there would be a space station built, this huge facility in space, this multi-international facility operating all the time, with control centers around the world, and all that would continue from that same launch pad they built, and it would all continue from that small little Sputnik that was launched 60 years ago. So I kind of fast forward, and I think, what will future generations see from what we're doing today? They'll look back on what we did with Space Station, they'll marvel at what we've done, they'll see the first time we've had 4 crew on station, research gets ramped up. It'll be exciting to see what comes from what we started today. So it was a great start today, and hopefully that's a great start for 60 years of really exciting activity as we move human presence into the solar system.
Thanks, Bill Gerstenmaier, NASA's Associate Administrator for Exploration. Dan, that is called the Symmetry of History. The final act of today's events about to unfold, so we'll turn it back to you now at Mission Control in Houston.
All right, and back with us here in Mission Control Houston. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Mr. Gerstenmaier. Rob always with the smooth closeout lines. He is the voice, as so many like to refer to him as. But right now we are hopefully under 20 minutes away from that hatch opening, still targeting 11:40 p.m. Central Time for that hatch opening. They're still running through all of those final leak checks, and once those are completed, we'll be ready to see these hatches open and these 3 crew members make their way on board the International Space Station. So we'll continue to update you as we get any information coming through. But everything hopefully still on track, following the timeline, as we've been pretty close to it, or even a little bit early with all of the operations so far today. So just stick around. We should see those hatches open momentarily.
Measurement. Pressure measurement 733.5. Copy all. Moscow copies 733.5. Copy, thank you.
Happen. All right. Mark, какая страница?
What page is that?
Какая страница? Страница...
Page
78.
78.
Oh, are you going to do this and I'll go up there? Is that what's going on?
There's no, but I just lost track of where you guys were. So.
Right, yeah. So the next measurement is 0726.
The next measurement is at 0726.
These Ziplocs come in handy after all.
The crew on board the Soyuz MS-06 continuing these leak checks. They're just taking periodic pressure measurements. Eventually they're going to just make sure that the pressure is equalized between both the Soyuz and the station, and then they'll be able to get the hatches open again. There's 2 hatches. There's one on the Soyuz side and there's one on the station side that the current Expedition 53 crew members will be responsible for getting open. Again, just to run through the roster, are already on board is the Expedition 53 Commander Randy Bresnik of NASA, and he arrived back in July alongside Roscosmos cosmonaut Sergei Rosansky and ESA astronaut Paolo Nespoli. And then the 3 waiting to get on board from the Soyuz spacecraft, 2 NASA astronauts, Mark Vande Hei making his first flight into space, and then Joe Acaba making his 3rd, and then Russian cosmonaut Alexander Mazurkin. Here in the photo, Mazurkin in the middle, Acaba on the left, and Vande Hei on the right. Again, a mix of new and veteran crews on this flight. Mazurkin, who is the commander of the Soyuz spacecraft, is going to become the commander of Expedition 54 once Bresnik, Rosansky, and Nespoli depart, with their departure scheduled to come in about mid-December.
You just stash that in the foot well, I'll just paste it down with this.
I don't know.
I mean, this in that bundle, if you put it down here, I'll slap it down with this Velcro on here.
Sure.
That's yours. No, that's yours.
Right here you can see a ground track for the International Space Station. They're about to pass into an orbital nighttime. The sun actually just about to set completely on the International Space Station, which right now is flying pretty near where it was located when the docking occurred over the southern Pacific Ocean, off to the west of Chile. They're a little bit further west as they've completed another orbit of the Earth, but actually pretty close right now to where that docking occurred. That docking again was at 9:55 p.m. Central Time, 10:55 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully we are just about 14 minutes and change away from the hatch opening occurring. The leak check still continuing between the Soyuz and the International Space Station. And once all those are completed and they've equalized the pressures, the hatches will open and we'll welcome 3 new crew members on board.
That's 15 minut, Sasha.
15 minutes, Alexander. The pressure is stable at 733.5. Moscow, how copy?
Приняли 703.
Copy 733.5. 733.5. Don't forget about that. Copy.
Mark, идешь? Хорошо.
Mark, are you coming? Yes, I am.
How about I do this, Joe? If I just give Joe my tablet,
Отлично.
and then I'm
That's great.
start heading up there, Sasha. Да, хорошо.
Okay, agreed.
Так, Joe на связь, я не буду. Хорошо?
All right. I won't report anything else. Copy.
Joe, следующий замер.
Joe, the next measurement is at 7:31. Okay, I'm ready.
And this is Mission Control Houston, hopefully just about 10 minutes or so away from the hatch opening. The crew still taking their periodic pressure measurements as they continue to do all of the leak checks. Again, just ensuring we have a tight seal between the Soyuz spacecraft and the Poisk module, which they've been docked to for about an hour and a half now. And then once all of those leak checks are done and the pressure is confirmed to be equalized, they'll get the go to open up the hatches, and then 3 new crew members will join Expedition 53.
Еще одну минуту.
1 more minute. Sounds good.
Готов.
I'm ready.
Готов.
All right.
Принял. Выполняю замер.
So I'm taking the measurement.
$733
733
миллиметра.
millimeters even.
Хорошо, 733.
Okay, 733.
733 ровно. Принято.
We copy 733 sharp.
Спасибо, Гош.
Thank you, Georgi.
Сейчас, Марк. Не торопись. Хорошо, давай.
Mark, don't be in a hurry. Go ahead.
Не торопись.
Don't be in a hurry.
Ага. Ага. Oh. Марк. Сначала переоденемся полностью, а потом будем закрывать.
Michael, so we will change our clothes, and after that
Change
we will close
can put it
what is needed to be
back
closed.
to my one. Да. Да, отсюда, ага. You can use it for all the one.
This is Mission Control Houston. The leak checks continuing on. The flight controllers here at Mission Control Houston reporting they've been going for a little bit over 20 minutes. And so going to continue on for a little bit longer. And again, once all these leak checks are done, we'll be ready to open up the hatches. this point, the crew's out of their SOCL launch and entry suits, changed into their flight suits. They've been in those suits for quite a few hours now, and then we'll be opening up the hatches in just a couple of minutes, hopefully. We'll see them move on board and get them a chance to speak to those watching back in Baikonur who watched them lift off just a little over 6 hours ago. And then with that, we'll have Expedition 53 up to the full 6-person crew. So continue to stick by with us. The leak checks continuing, should be getting these hatches open soon. We'll be ready to welcome these 3 on board the International Space Station.
Yes, секунд. Спасибо.
10 seconds. Thank you, Joe.
10 секунд. Готов. 733 ровно.
733 sharp.
733.
733. I confirm.
733 ровно, принято.
Copy 733.
И остался у нас еще один замер.
And we have just one measurement left. Yes, we confirm.
Вообще, как мы по плану успеваем? Нормально?
So are we, is everything on time? Yes, everything is absolutely on time and on schedule. Copy.
Как вы там, скафандры все победили?
So have you doffed all spacesuits already? We are finishing that. Copy.
Отлично.
This is good news.
And so just following the conversations between the crew and the flight controllers and Koryov at the Russian Mission Control Center, should just be one more pressure check on these leak checks. And as you heard, the crew's finishing up getting out of those launch and entry suits.
Принял, Джо, спасибо.
So thank you, Joe. After 30 minutes, the space leak check reading, the pressure is 733 millimeters even. It means that the vestibule D delta is less than 5 millimeters. So we are not will not have any issues. The leak check was successful, and I am closing KKT. KKT is closed, and we are ready to do the leak check between the OB and the vehicle. So it is the step 9 point. It is step 10.9.3 at page 80 of the ODF. Moscow, Altair.
На связи, Саша.
Сережа, давление по манвакометру подскажешь?
Sergey, could you please tell us the MV pressure?
742.
742 ISS pressure.
Джо, закрываем РПВ.
Joe, we are closing RPV1.
Закрыт.
RPV1 is closed. Copy.
Марк, готов?
Mark, are you ready?
Done? Are you done? Please come back.
If you're done with doffing,
80.
please come back here.
I will listen to you and after that send comment, okay? Джо, Марк идет к тебе.
Joe, Mark is moving towards you. Copy.
Джо, ты с моего инпу сможешь вот команду?
Joe, will you be able to send the command S5 from my input panel? Yes, and after 1 minute, the command number 6 will have to be sent as well.
Аккуратно, Джо, там.
Joe, please be careful.
Джо, сейчас Марк к тебе может прийти.
So,
Он готов? Да, он готов.
is Mark ready? Yes, Mark is ready. He will join you soon. Copy.
Саша, выполнили открытие КВД ЦОБ?
Alexander, could you please confirm that KVD is open? Not yet.
Хорошо, ждем.
И выдаем команду.
We will send the command presently.
80, шаг 10.9.
So it's page 80, the step 10.9.3. So could you please send a 5 command and then a 6 command in 1 minute? Copy in work.
Yes, I'll tell you, готов.
I'm ready to send the command.
S5. Готов S5.
S5 is ready.
3-4, пуск.
I'm sending the command.
S5 горит.
S5 LED is illuminated. You have started the stopwatch? Yes, I have. Thank you, Joe.
Приготовлю S6.
I have prepared S6 command.
I should have brought my glasses back here, but it's okay. Well,
Getting another look inside the Poisk module, you just saw Randy Bresnik, the current Expedition 53 commander, in frame. Right there, Sergei Ryazanskiy again, everything setting up for this hatch opening. This a view inside the Poisk module. And pretty soon we'll be seeing that hatch right in front of us open up, as well as the hatch on the Soyuz, and 3 new crew members join on board the International Space Station. So everything continuing to march along. The leak checks, hopefully in their final stages now, should just be a few more steps. Then pretty soon we'll be seeing these hatches open and 3 new crew members on board the International Space Station.
Thank you. S6 is not illuminated. Copy, S6 is not illuminated. Moscow, Altair command S6 has been sent. Copy, so we'll be standing by until the station hatch is open. Copy. Now it's a go to open the station hatch. We're talking to Sergei Ryazansky.
You're gonna go up? Okay. Sasha, Joe туда будет.
Хорошо, да, давай.
Alexander, Joe will be next to you. Copy.
I'll take your planchette, Joe.
I'm taking your tablet.
And we can see there in the center Sergei Ryazansky working on the station hatch now. Paolo Nespoli on the left side of the screen holding the camera there, and the Expedition 53 commander Randy Bresnik just off camera. Again, 2 hatches, one on the station side, one on the Soyuz, to be opened, and then we'll be able to see these 3 new crew members float on board.
Alexander, the station hatch is open now. Please continue working. Thank you. We continue working, Moscow.
Жду подтверждения открытия ККТ и КВД.
I'm standing by for your confirmation that KKT and KVD valves are open.
Открываю.
I am opening KKT, tunnel control valve.
ККТ.
KKT is open. Now I'm opening the equalization valve, KVD.
Отлично, ждем.
Great.
Давление на манометре.
We are standing by
Постоянно в течение 2 минут.
for the MV pressure stabilization for the duration of 2 minutes. So while the equalization is going on, I would like to tell you what you should do after the transfer hatches are open. Go ahead, Georgi. We are all ears. So before the transition to the station, you deactivate the COM assets. Stand by 1. So after the hatches are open, correct? Yes, it is page 82 of the ODF. It's the actions of the crew in the orbital module. So before we translate to the station, we deactivate COM assets. Yes, that's correct. So you deactivate COM assets, open the hatch, and don't waste your time in the vehicle. Don't forget about the KSD cap, please. Copy. After this ceremony is complete, then please take a note on page 82. You will have to deactivate the vehicle systems. It's orbital flight book. Page 20. Stand by one, please. Moscow. Standing by. I'm ready to copy the activation of the vehicle orbital flight book, page 25-38. 25-38. So the gas analyzer should not be deactivated. Mark, what was the sound? The pressure in 5 minutes to 27. Georgi, so after the ceremony is complete, I will go to orbital flight book, page 25-38, and the gas analyzer should not be deactivated. Yes, that's correct. Also, in SI, you will have to change out the BOA and install P3.
And so just a short video dropout. We'll get that back in just a couple of minutes, but getting very close now. As you saw, one of the hatches already open, the hatch on the station side. So just a few more steps, and then they'll be able to open the hatch on the Soyuz, and Mazurka, Nakaba, and Vanda High can make their way onto the International Space Station.
So I will change out the cartridge to PS3, as per the orbital flight book. Now, from MRM2, you will transition to BOR 3 gas masks and BMP. Copy BMP and 3 gas masks. Also, 2 spacesuits will be dried out in your vehicle, and one you will give to the crew of vehicle 736. Okay, so the pressure, no, it has not stabilized yet. And Alexander, you don't have to transfer a FOT filter to the vehicle. Copy, so a FOT should not be transferred to the vehicle. What is this noise about, Alexander? Mark is using the display where the change of the pressure produces this sound. Okay, copy. So that's all information I wanted to give you. And now finally I would like to congratulate you with the very successful flight to the station. Our congratulations. It is your second flight. It is the first flight for Mark and Joe, also for another flight. Well, our flight has just started, so we will still have to complete it. Yes, all together. Sasha, do you need my help? What can I do? I am standing by for Mark report. So the pressure is still decreasing. We, need the pressure to stabilize first. Okay, Mark, be ready to work as per page 82. Deactivate the COM assets. And Alexander, we forgot to tell you one more thing. Go ahead.
А в транспортном корабле, помимо БМП,
Apart from the BMP and gas maps, you should leave the emergency book, the one that you have brought on board your vehicle. Of course, copy that. Now, we want to bother you anymore. Our congratulations, and we'll be standing by for your letters from the station, and for the pictures, of course. We'll be standing by for your photos. You mean that we can stop talking to you using this COM channel? Well, please report that the pressure has stabilized, it's equalized, and then, it's a go to open the hatch and transition to the station. All right, copy that. We'll be standing by for the pressure equalization. The pressure on MV is 753 millimeters. Now I have started the stopwatch for 2 minutes. Moscow, the pressure has stabilized at 750 millimeters. So right now we are waiting for 2 minutes. Understood. Copy.
Could you... Mark, как у нас дела, Марк?
Mark, how are we doing?
Я готов.
I'm ready to press. It's a bit too early. The pressure keeps decreasing still.
Я попрошу сейчас Джо на место Джо.
May I ask you to connect your so-called spacesuit? Could you secure it here? Do you want me to do it here in the ISS? No, please stay here. Joe will do that. Okay. Stand by one.
Okay. Just attach it and connect with this. Okay, готов.
Okay, I'm ready. All right.
Nespoli, Bresnik, and Rosansky practicing some space selfies inside the Poise module there as they await the 3 new crew members of Expedition 53 to wrap up a few more steps and then get the hatches open.
747, and right now we start the 2-minute countdown. Okay, we are standing by, Alexander.
Okay, let me get the hand on top. There you go. You got it. Still?
What's that?
Oh, yeah. You want me to lift this up? Head is clear. Looks like. Okay. I hope I didn't mess up something you established.
Георгий, 2 минуты.
Moscow, 2 minutes are up. I'm closing KKT.
Закрываю КВТ.
I'm closing KVD. The pressure is stable at 747 millimeters. Copy.
Отлично.
Great news.
Наверное, лучше крышку люка
All right, Alexander.
по связи. Вы-
I believe you can open the hatch first, and after that, deactivate COM assets.
Я понял тебя, Гоша.
Understood. Thank you.
Я чуть позже выключу средства связи.
Okay, I will deactivate COM assets a little bit later.
Все правильно.
That's correct. All right, Drew, Mark, Sasha, congratulations. We were very happy to work with you during the
Спасибо, Георгий.
launch
Обнимаю.
and docking. Thank you, Moscow. Please say hi to everyone. Thank you very much, everyone, for your support. Mark, Joe, are you ready? Yes, we are.
И, Саша, не надо отключить...
And
All right, and with that, it sounds like it's hatch opening time.
Hey, Joe.
Should see that hatch start to move in the Soyuz any second now, and then we'll see 3 new crew members at their home for the next 5 months in space.
Марк, отключаем мою связь. Давай кабель сюда.
okay, Mark, we deactivate COM.
Here comes Joe.
That's it.
And I'm coming off the comm, too.
Sorry, and I'm also coming off the COM.
Связи. Не удаем.
Inaudible.
And there it is. The hatch opened 12:08 a.m. Central Time, 1:08 a.m. Eastern Time, while the station flew just 255 statute miles over Serbia. And first one through the door, Alexander Mazurkin, the Soyuz commander for all of the events today. This again, his second trip into space, second stay on board the International Space Station. Just behind him, NASA astronaut Joe Acaba making his third flight into space and his second time as a long-duration crew member on board the station. And bringing up the rear, the first-timer Mark Vande Hei on his first space flight, making his way into the International Space Station for the very first time. All right, and with that, the crew of Expedition 53 back at a full 6-person, and now the crew's going to make their way over to the Russian service module. And once they're all set up, we'll get these voice calls started, and they'll be able to speak to the folks back over in Baikonur.
Москвы МКС, канал СГ-1.
На связи, слышу.
Как нас видно в СМе?
Пока только слышно, сейчас мы...
We hear you for now. Now we will get the video feed. Give us a minute.
Ждем, это выстраиваемся.
We are just waiting, just lining ourselves up. Now we see you. Excellent.
Отлично, очень рады.
Wonderful. We are glad and we are ready. Okay, we are also very glad. We are passing the comm to Baikonur.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston Station, we are ready for the Expedition 53 welcome aboard ceremony.
Baikonur, this is Mission Control. Houston, please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Rob Navius with your colleagues, families, and friends in Baikonur. How do you hear me?
Rob, we've got you loud and clear.
You all look great up there, and we'll start the event.
Папулечка, привет.
Daddy, hello.
Доченька, привет, родненькая моя.
Hi, my dear. How are you?
Привет.
Hey there.
Нет, не замерзли.
We're not cold, we're good.
Там хорошо, тепло.
Is it warm over there?
Ты видишь, у нас дружеская тесная компания.
Well, you see we're all cozy here.
Родной, привет, родной мой.
Hi, my dear one, I love you.
Хорошо, даже
You look wonderful, even excellent.
Так держать.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah.
Here. Just talk. Talk.
Сашенька, родной.
Sasha, my dear.
Как ты там себя чувствуешь, как перенес?
How do you feel up there? How did you survive through it? Grandma, everything was excellent. Look at the screw. Things couldn't be any better.
Я очень рада.
I am very glad.
Всего тебе доброго.
All the best to you. To you and to the rest of the crew. Thank you, Grandma. And to you also.
Mark, this is Jules.
Oh, hey! I was expecting to hear some more Russian. What did you just say?
What a beautiful launch. So proud of you and your team.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if anybody heard, but when we were supposed to be quiet and operational and we got close to the station and I saw the solar arrays out the windows, I went, wow! And then said, is everything okay? The Mission Control Center asked if everything was okay.
We didn't know otherwise, so it was all good. But I'm so proud of you. I mean,
it was just that
really
amazing.
Hard work. So, yes,
Thank
all
you very
of us
much. It's amazing to be here.
filled with
It's
joy.
really amazing.
So happy you're on there. Love you, honey.
It's an amazing place. Love you too, wonderful lady.
Hi, Mark. It's Gabe. How's it going up there?
It's going great. I'm probably everybody else here is experienced. So I'm the person that they're actually like moving around for me so that they can make sure I'm in the right place and not floating away.
So the experience is good, but the floating is subpar, would you say?
My ability to float right now is subpar. I'd say controlling the float is poor. I'm going to learn quick, though.
So now that you're actually up there, what's your bet on how many air bubbles you can put into a water bubble?
No idea. Yeah, no idea. I'll just demonstrate it and we'll figure it out.
Hey, Dad, this is Lauren.
Hey, Lauren, how are you?
Good. Good. How was your launch? I mean, it was really cool watching it, but how did it feel from up there?
It was amazing. I mean, it was a very smooth ride, and everything was. We were so well trained that I just was impressed at how well everything worked. And I saw the moon out the window. That's the first thing I saw, and then coming up to the station was just absolutely incredible.
Awesome. Love you.
Love you too.
Hola, Joseph. ¿Es tu padre? Si es posible, ¿puedes saludar a tu mamá y el resto de tu familia en California?
Hey, Pops, it's good to hear your voice, and of course, hello, Mom, Grandma, and everybody there in California who's watching. Thanks for the support. The launch was awesome, so we're doing great up here.
Hey, Joe, it's Ralph. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that launch was great, and after we got back to the after we got back to the hotel, your family and friends gathered for a celebratory toast, and each person told a Joe story, so I learned even more about you in the last 24 hours.
Well, with that information, I'm very happy I'm off the planet. Those are stories I don't want to hear. So hopefully what happens in Baikonur will stay in Baikonur.
Roger that. And one more thing, Stephen did end the celebration with a serenade to the song that you suggested, so that was great.
I'm sure it was lovely, and glad the pack could make it, and you guys had a great time. And I'm sure that rendition was fabulous.
Hi, Mark. It's Mom. Just want to tell you how much we love you and how you've got support from people all over this country. And just love you, and I hope you feel it all.
I could definitely feel it. The prayers really helped, and thank you very much. Dad, I think you started talking to me while I was talking. Go ahead, say it
Mark,
again.
can you hear me?
I can.
We're really excited about being here to see you like this. Yes, you can hear me now. We're watching you on TV, and I'm delayed by the delay. So I'll stop watching and just talk to you. It's a real exciting time for us. We're speechless. At least I am. We love you, and take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Looking forward to seeing you again, but in the meantime, I'm going to really enjoy this.
Hey, Joe, it's Liz. I wanted to say that we're really proud of all of you. Thank you for all that you do for us. And we enjoyed the music for the takeoff, launch.
Hey, thanks, Liz. I'm really glad you could make it out. It was cool to share it with you, and yeah, I look forward to seeing the video of the launch from your perspective sometime. So, thanks again. Hope you guys have safe travels back home, and tell the boys I said hello.
And for the crew, this is Rob Navius back in Baikonur. We've lost KU, so we're going to wrap up the event. Thanks so much. All the best. Fly safe, and we'll see you soon up there. And I'll turn it back to Capcom at Mission Control in Houston.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, everybody that came, and see you in Houston.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
And from Houston, thank you to all participants in Baikonur Station. We are now resuming operational audio communications.
Джо, поздравляю вас с возвращением в ваш космический дом. Марк с новосельем.
All right, and with that, the crew on board getting a chance to, as you just saw, say hello to some friends and family back in Baikonur who have watched all of their activities throughout the day, watched the launch, watched the docking, and watched the hatches open. Just to recap real quick for you, that launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan was right on time at 4:17 p.m. Central, 5:17 p.m. Eastern Time. 3:17 in the morning, so an early morning for the crew over in Baikonur, so we definitely thank them for sticking along throughout all of the activities for the day. But that launch went very successfully, no issues tracked with the rocket during the flight uphill, delivered them into that preliminary orbit for them to chase down the station in just about 6 hours, ultimately docking to the Poisk module at 9:55 p.m. Central Time, 10:55 p.m. Eastern. We got the hatches open at 12:08 a.m. Central Time, 1:08 a.m. Eastern Time, while the station was flying just about 255 statute miles over Serbia, and we are now back to a full 6 crew members on board the International Space Station. So a lot ahead for all 6 of these gentlemen over the next couple of months, with a lot of science, a lot of maintenance, and some spacewalks on the horizon for a couple of these astronauts. So definitely stay tuned to the mission. As always, you can follow along online at nasa.gov/station and across all the different social media outlets on the various space station accounts, as well as the space station accounts or the social media accounts for these crew members. Go search them out. They'll be sharing their experiences on board the International Space Station throughout their space flight. So with that, I want to thank you for tuning in for this hatch opening and for all of our broadcasts today, getting a look at human space flight and how it's taking place right now on the Earth and off the Earth. So we are going to go ahead and wrap up one last time for today, though. This is Mission Control Houston.